Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
We're sitting here with Norah Mulinda. I'm Paul Sweeney. Let's take a look at some of the stocks on the move. Meta, big earnings numbers. Let's check in with Kurt Wagner, tech reporter for Bloomberg News. Kurt, talk to us about Meta here. Some people feel like Meta might be a little late to the AI party. I don't think that. What'd you take away?
I don't think they're late at all. I don't think that they have offered some of the same products that some of their rivals like OpenAI and Anthropic have, Google. So they have been building AI models for, basically a decade. They mostly kept them in-house. They use them, in this case, they've been talking a lot about how they're using them to improve their own ad targeting and their own content recommendations. And so while they're not out selling access to their models in the way that rivals are, they're still building them. And, clearly the street's very happy with what's happening here, which is that their ads business, which is powered by Instagram and Facebook, is just a cash printing machine. And they are taking all the profits from that and they're, funneling them into AI. And yesterday we saw that the ads business is doing better than expected and they're spending even more on AI. And that is a combination that people seem very happy with right now.
Well, Kurt, even if there are people saying that Meta is late to the AI party, if you look at shares year to date and you compare it against the others in the Mag 7, we are seeing it as the best performing stock, the second best performing stock right behind NVIDIA. What do you think has really propelled it forward to that magnitude here?
Well, I think there's a couple things. One, there's the Mark Zuckerberg factor of this. You can love him, you can hate him, but Mark Zuckerberg has a pretty strong history of, quite frankly, reaching the largest audience with his products. That is something he's done repeatedly throughout Meta's history, and he has sole control of this company. So if you are a believer in him, you are a believer in Meta right now, and I think that's one factor. And then I think the other is, that reach matters a lot when you're talking about AI, because when you build, in this case, Meta AI is the name of their chatbot, they have put it into Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. It already has 1 billion monthly users simply because they have that existing audience. So where a lot of companies are building these AI products and then trying to find the audience for them, Meta already has the audience. So when they figure this out, when they, if their Ray-Ban glasses, for example, take off in the way that they hope they will, they have the built-in online audience already for these tools. And I think that that's something that a lot of people are optimistic about.
Kurt, you mentioned WhatsApp. Boy, I think I was covering the stock when they bought WhatsApp 7-8 years ago. Are they finally starting to monetize WhatsApp? And if so, how are they doing it?
They are starting to monetize WhatsApp. They announced in June that they're going to start running ads in WhatsApp for the first time. If you're a history buff in terms of following Facebook history, you'll know that that's been a long time coming, and there's been a lot of bumps and bruises along the way in getting there. But I will say the CFO, Susan Lee, she did warn that even though they are putting ads into WhatsApp, this is a long road. It is not going to be a material impact for the business in terms of revenue or ad impressions for the next few years. They're going to start slow. I think that makes sense for a couple of reasons. The first being that WhatsApp is popular in a lot of regions that aren't necessarily lucrative in terms of advertising, India, Brazil, places like that. And then second, you're kind of trying to convince advertisers to shift budget perhaps from more lucrative things like Instagram or Facebook. And so I think it's going to be slow for people to maybe move over their money towards WhatsApp. But again, fast forward a few years from now, I think there is obviously potential here. That app has a multiple billions of users globally.
Kurt, it's hard to be a bear here on this stock. I'm looking at Wall Street ratings right now, and 74 people have a buy. We have 5 holds on the stock and then 1 sell, and that's coming from BNP Paribas. But if you really had to dig in and see what the overhangs could potentially be here for this company, what would you say are some areas that investors are looking to see a bit more of a push forward?
Well, I do think the spending is a lot. And so while the ads business continues to chug along, people are going to say, okay, that's fine. If there is a stumble in this ads business, heading into the holiday quarter or something like that, suddenly people might start wondering, why are they spending so much if the ads business isn't delivering? So that's one. The other is their Reality Labs division. That's the Quest VR headsets, things like that. That is a loss leader. I believe $4.5 billion in losses just last quarter alone. They also mentioned on the call that Quest sales were down. year over year. So that's a concern, I would imagine, for some people.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.